baby. Didn't mean to hit y'all with that. So, welcome Pisces. Thank you for choosing the flowering for your December tarot reading. I decided to do a pick a card format, right? Nobody likes listening to one reading and having somebody say, or this, or it could be this, or it could be that. I feel like with Pisces, being already like super intuitive, you don't want to hear people saying what they think the message is, right? It's like, what do you know? What do you know? So Pisces, right? I say that, but it's like more like, you know what you feel. You're like, I'm just coming here for clarification, you know. I don't need to hear all the what ifs and maybe this is. Don't know why I needed to say all of that, but hey, it's said. My bad, y'all. For some reason, I want to show y'all my Rose of Jericho. I haven't showed it to anyone else. But looky, isn't she cute? Resurrection. It's called the resurrection flower, right? So Pisces, maybe there's something that's going on with you guys. Maybe you find that your intuition is growing to new heights. Maybe you're finding that you're making sense of some old things that just didn't make sense when it first occurred. But in a way, I feel that you are being, I heard replanted. Perhaps you've been in a very, dreamy place for a while. And you're coming back down to earth to put into physical form all the things that you saw when you were in the clouds, So the way I'm going to do this, we're going to do 3 cards from the Psalms deck. And I'm going to show you these cards and let you pick from them. There's one. What else is going on with you guys? Yeah. Some of y'all feeling quite intuitive. I wasn't supposed to see that, but let's see what happens. So one more card, please, for Pisces, December 2018. Y'all, this is the biggest deck of cards ever. Look. I think it's like 144 cards. 150 cards. And why did I say 144? So 144,000 is the number of light workers, right? That are supposed to, supposed to be here on Earth. And also in the Bible, they say the 144,000 are the, I say chosen, so kind of from the different tribes. Y'all don't get me to try to be a philosopher over here, but I know that there's mention of the 144,000, and there's supposed to be a collection of individuals from all the different tribes in the Bible. And so maybe this is, maybe Pisces is questioning the work that they're doing. Am I a light worker? Am I actually bringing light? Am I sharing light to hide my own darkness? Man, some answer really ain't coming to y'all, right? Like, I think there might be a need for more information. You feel like you're doing the right thing, but I think it's okay. This is what I'm getting. If you come from a particularly religious background, then you are kind of like this with this whole light worker, healer concept that's going on right now in Pisces. It seems like you're asking yourself what the truth is, and I'm here to tell you that it doesn't have to be one truth. You know what I mean? Like, the truth is that all of these things work together, so that's interesting. Seems like Pisces has been doing some some spiritual, just seeking, you're seeking things and you've allowed yourself to kind of float in the clouds for a little bit. And you're coming back down and you're wanting to see and understand how all of that stuff physically manifests. I think that the separation between whatever your religious belief says and the spiritual wisdom that's been given to you, I think you're integrating them right now. There we go. That's the word. You're integrating them and seeing how they can serve your ministry. I have a friend who's a Pisces, and she's a clothing designer, private designer. And so for her, to implement her spiritual wisdom, her wisdom that she's been obtaining into her ministry, which is clothing. So into that ministry, some of you may be trying to merge things right now to take on a more, not even to take on, you want to bring more than one skill set to people is what I'm getting. And so just like a hairdresser is also a counselor a lot of times, some of us are learning what our skill sets, how our skill sets can assist people on their journey, their personal journey. And as an example, for designing, self-esteem, you make people feel better, make them feel pretty, you give them exactly what they want in your product. So with no further ado, here are the cards. Take a deep breath. Exhale. Whichever one calls to you. Okay. Hook back up to that life source. All right. So group one. Psalms 20 and 6. It's funny because earlier I did get that understanding that when we were talking about the tribes in the Bible, it looks like this group, if you chose group one, you are deciding which flag you're gonna fly. Some may be looking for a religious system to help them in their spiritual journey. And you may be trying to choose which path best suits you in your personal journey. This makes sense for me because for a while, I'm a believer of, not a believer, but I kind of pull from all different backgrounds. And if I know of a deity from some other background, then I'll call them in and work with them. You know what I mean? Like, I'm like, hey, I need your help, Athena. So I'm not feeling very confident. Can you come in and help me with this? So here, this is really like, ties into what I was saying before for Pisces, is that you may be attempting to kind of like find out where you want to plant yourself, where you want to plant yourself when it comes to what's going to feed your spiritual self. And how you can also be a beacon of light for others in whatever career you're in. Psalms 20 and 6 reads, may we shout, when I was saying this, I remember when I saw it, the tribe. So not only are you trying to decide where you're going to put yourself, but you're also trying to decide who is going to best serve your ministry and where you're going, where your support's going to come from. And this came right here. May we shout for joy in your victory, arrayed by standards in the name of our God. They're going to show up for you. When you feel overwhelmed, you say to yourself, no one cares. No one is there for me. Know that you are not alone and help is on the way. In tough times, it isn't easy to trust, but we have to think positive. Thoughts are things, as some say. Negativity, if left unchecked, can become a wall that keeps out the very persons and spirits needed most. If you trust, you will glimpse the standards, the battle flags, and those who are coming to your aid. They're on the way. That's beautiful. this could be in a very spiritual sense, but also I feel that this is a very physical thing too. You know, in looking for the religious path or whatever teachers and mentors that you need to support your path, we can get overwhelmed in trying to figure out what's best, right? And often miss the fact that we're being introduced to people every day who are giving us hints and little things to kind of nudge us one way or the other, okay? This is what I'm hearing. You know, there are people coming into your environment, if they haven't already, starting to trickle in to clarify or help you to determine if this is best fitting for you or not. You know, your higher self, your inner self has likely been screaming it, hey, it's okay. You can do this. It doesn't matter which way you go. Just choose one. You know what I mean? So your higher self is probably already kind of like, bro. So then they resort to bringing people and experiences into you so that you can, even invitations, you get an invitation to go to synagogue or something like that. You know what I mean? And you've never been to anything other than church. Take it. Go experience it. Allow yourself the freedom to experience other things. You know, it's the only way we find what truly, truly, truly speaks to our soul is to experience new things outside of what we've always experienced, right? Choice. Can't make a choice here. So for some of you, there has been a over reliance on partners fulfilling needs for you. Okay, just putting that out there. But in a general sense, for this group, if you chose group 1, you're having this issue. You're having a problem making a choice. And so this is where I was just saying that because inside of you and of your own will, you've just been overwhelmed with the choice. The universe, God, has been orchestrating meetings, experiences for you to gain more information, you know, on these different paths that you're considering to help you make a choice. I do also get the feeling that, you know, something that your heart, your mind, your spirit has been committed to for a long time, you're being offered a door to explore something else. I know I just said that, but that's the way it just came, so whatever. You are being offered doors to new experiences. For some of you, you're waiting for a romantic partner. Oh, Queen of Cups comes out. Yeah, for some of you, you are waiting for a romantic partner. And for some also, there may be, perhaps you've been very open and explored different relationships, some with the same sex, some polymorphs, whatever the case may be. You've tried different types of relationships. And so you may be just waiting for no longer holding on. Okay. So you're wondering, I don't know why this is coming this way, but for this group, there could be some questions about sexuality. Not questions, but wondering if, should I go this way? I get the feeling, though, that you've explored multiple types of connections and wondering if you're still holding on to a certain way a relationship should be. That's definitely what that is. That's what that is. This is the choices that you can't make a choice to move forward to pursue a person or a path because you're still kind of like holding on to old concepts of what might be right or wrong for you in your particular path. That makes sense. The way this is coming up in my spirit is if you are a spiritual leader or a religious leader, specifically a religious leader of some sort, you may be asking yourself if something is allowed. It's a good question for your spirit. You know, it's not for anybody else to answer. Is it allowed? If the divine is putting it in your spirit, then it's probably part of your ministry. And you'll have to release whatever, I keep hearing indoctrinated. So whatever things that you were taught to believe about the paths that you're considering, you're going to have to wipe that slate all the way. Death card. You're going to have to let those go. You know, it's time to move away from the old doctrine. It's kind of keeping you stuck right now. You got to let that doctrine fall away and then pursue these things. You may have to, I'm getting the feeling that you may be in a place where you're gonna re-explore or explore again these things with a new mindset. I think some of you have come to understand the idea of freedom in sexuality, belief, the freedom that's afforded you. I think some of you are no longer bowing to what has been traditional, or you're being asked to no longer bow to what has been taught before. I think that makes sense. For some, you're wondering if you're going to give a past connection, specific connection, another chance. This could be an old project as well. You're wondering if that's something that you should revisit or not. I get the feeling that the choice is really yours. You know, I feel you find success and purpose, whichever way you go. You know, as long as you stay in tune, then I don't get the feeling that there's a wrong path right now. Okay, you stay in tune. I'm being told you stay in tune by understanding that it's a spiritual relationship. You know, so whatever religious system you decide to adopt to support that relationship, it's your choice. You're going to reach the depth of wisdom and knowledge and everything that you're meant to, whichever path, as long as you stay grounded in the idea that this system is here to support my walk, not to control it, not for me to bow down to or anything like that. It's here to support me. Can you please clarify the Queen of Cups? They just said the Death card was supposed to clarify the Queen of Cups. So that makes sense. You know, if you were connected to a Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, then you may be asking yourself a question about that specific thing, or a matter of the heart in general, honestly. So let's clarify the Lovers then, please. Thank you. Shit. Okay. The Moon. Still more to learn, and I get that. I've really been feeling that a lot. So even though the Moon card is not one of like study, it's about the unknown. So things that you have yet to learn, these things that will be brought to you, I feel like they're going to be brought to you here in the near future. In the month of December, you'll be given some experiences, some teachings, even things that you decide to study on your own that will release certain burdens of conflict in your mind and your spirit. This could also be Cancer. Why do I always do that? I don't know. I always forget these things when I'm in the middle of a reading. So whatever that means for you, I don't know. I always forget. Either way, there are some things that are going to come up for you, and they're going to help you feel more confident in going in any one direction. Page of Swords, okay? Yeah. The Page of Swords paired with the Four of Coins, both in reverse, meaning that there just are still things that you have yet to connect with, I feel. You know, there's certain things that you've yet to connect, and they can't connect because there's this wedge here. of that doctrine. That doctrine is the wedge. You know, some things are actually coming together for you, but this wedge is stopping them from connecting, you know. So this looks like you're in this huge circle of people who have kind of like stepped into a more spiritual mindset rather than religious. And this is just for this group because I get that that's that feeling. So you now have seen your environment be flooded with people who have these more spiritual views, yet you haven't connected that this is the universe telling you, yes, it's okay, because there's a wedge. You're still maybe listening to family or people who just have that old belief system that you used to walk in. I mean, that's all it comes down to. I feel that you're repressing yourself and your full expression of self by not letting this connect. And I don't know what that means for some of you. For some of you, you may, let me just say, I'm not telling anybody to walk away from anything. But for yourself and for your own, to make space for your own exploration of this, you may need to step away from what you have always done, okay? For me, that meant, don't go to church for a few Sundays. Study something else. See how this resonates with you. And in the beginning, that was literally just me going to the lake rather than going to service on Sunday. I would just go to the lake, enjoy nature, and see how that made me feel. And for a while, it was great. And still great, but it helped me. It helped me to realize that my connection with the divine and with myself was not dependent upon a system, that system was here to help me. And like I said, it just freed me. It freed me. And I hope that it frees you. You know, you guys are just not doing what's best for you because of this old paradigm that you live in, or that you're like one toe in and one toe out, honestly, because your whole dynamic and environment has changed, and you just need to take that toe out of the other and just go ahead and walk in what you are feeling led to. For group 2, this is the one that popped out and was like, oh yes, your priestly self is emerging. I don't know that that's what this card is, but I think this card is about idols. So, you know, a lot of us can turn religion into an idol. So I don't know. That's just piggybacking on group 1. So for group 2, the first message that I really got was about intuition, about high priesthood, you know, about your priestly self, the message that you have to share. And attachment to the very things that are causing blocks for you. Sounds like Pisces, if this is all resonating with the message at the beginning of the video. So if that resonated with you, you probably just gonna watch this whole thing, because in the meantime, go ahead and click subscribe, like, share, you know. But yeah, I get the feeling you're just tired. You're tired of feeling conflicted. You feel that this commitment to this thing or this belief system, this project or whatever, is draining you and not allowing you to really enjoy being here. Because it's meant for us to enjoy, right? And over-attachment to anything will rob us of that. It won't let us enjoy our existence here. All right. Psalms 96:5. Says, all the gods of the peoples are mere idols, but the Lord made the heavens. Get rid of the false idols in your life. When most of us hear idol, we think of images or representations of deities that so-called primitive peoples worship. Every corner of our modern world, which may surprise you, is teeming with idols and idol worship. The word idol once meant imposter. Indeed, an idol is an imposter. An idol of any sort masquerades as the source of life. And those who worship that idol try to entice others to focus their attention on and organize their lives around it. One of the great idols of our time is accumulation. Bro, tell me about it. The rich worship accumulation through the acquisition of wealth, and the rest of us through the acquisition of things. In truth, all of us should be strangers to accumulation. The divine gave the entire human family the 7 laws of Noah, which prohibit idolatry, blasphemy, murder, theft, sexual immorality, and eating the limb of a living animal, as well as encourage the establishment of law courts. What do you worship? In other words, on what do you focus your attention, and around what do you organize your life? Okay, that's the question. Is it serving you? Not to say, because I was often conflicted in the beginning of my spiritual journey. I was asking myself questions like, are you looking for something, a religious belief? Are you looking for a belief system that just allows you to do whatever the hell you want to do and you don't have to follow no rules? I had to ask myself that, because in the belief system that I was in, we were being taught that if you looked at anything else other than that, you were wrong. And if you found pleasure or home in something other than that, then you were just running away from your calling or whatever. Okay. For me, an idol in my life was love, relationships, right? I often wanted to wait until this person was here or that. I had this image in my mind about how things were supposed to be, and they always included me having a partner, okay? A romantic partner. So that was once an idol in my life. And over the last year, I ain't had the luxury of having none of that. So I had to see that, that love, a greater love than I would have ever received in any romantic relationship, came from the divine, came from inside of me, came from myself, the love for myself and my own path, respecting me, respecting my divinity, So that may also be that message for group 2, asking yourself, I focused all my attention on this. What has it really truly brought me? Has it taken me to my highest heights or my lowest lows? So this group 2 is shifting, you're looking for a shift, and I like that. Shift makes me happy. Has my focus on this thing brought value? We got the 8 of Staffs in reverse, 2 of Pentacles, and the 4 of Staffs. Okay, so this song, I Shoot My Shot in the Brick. Okay. There's J. Cole. I think actually, the hitting of these walls is what's making you ask. I gave all my effort and energy to this. Is no movement happening? What have I been doing? You know what I mean? And so for some people, it's simple as a project. You're like, dang, I really worked hard at this and it didn't do anything. Did I waste my time? Was this a good investment or was it not? For others, we're talking about belief, I've tried this, I've tried that, I've tried this. I walked here, I went to church, I did cleansing, I did this, I did that, and nothing is bringing me or making me feel closer. Well, the idea that you need to come to understand is that it was never, your outside efforts were never needed to bring you closer to the divine, okay? Any effort, physical effort wasn't needed, okay? Your divine self emerges when you stop and take the time to acknowledge that it exists. That's it. Take the time, stop, acknowledge that it exists, right? Okay. So with the 8 of Staffs in reverse, I do get the feeling that whatever nudges you've been receiving, you've been totally just ignoring. You ain't receiving the message. And I think it's because there's too much focus on what you see here. Okay. So those walls that you're hitting are meant to say something, and they're not always meant to say stop. Some of them are meant to say, hey, there's some of them are screaming, knock me down, knock me down. You know, these barriers. Some of them are screaming to be knocked down. And I feel like for group 2, there's lots of barriers that you're allowing to stay put up in your life. And you might miss your ship if you don't just, come on, like, get with it, come on. I say miss your ship, but you know, I think the divine sends the ship back multiple times for us through our existence, you know, throughout our existence. The ship will come back around and come back around and come back around. And one day we'll decide to not be overly focused on the material, on the way we thought it was supposed to be. And we'll be able to catch our ride. We'll be able to catch the wave. Okay? So the advice that I'm feeling here with group 2 is that you may need to, again, some of these walls are not meant to be, are not to stop you. So stop tossing around. It's like, stop trying to juggle in your mind all these different concepts of right, wrong, true, false. Just stop. That's what I'm hearing. Just stop. This is when you will find victory. This is when you will find stability, is when you stop trying to juggle them. Study them. Take from them what resonates or what you feel is being gifted to you from the divine, from that experience, belief system, person, you know. Stop trying to juggle it all around and make sense of it in this realm, you know. Because sometimes we can really only make sense of it in spirit. You know, our eyes can't fathom what sometimes our spirit already knows, right? And that's what I'm feeling here. Some of you have the true potential to be celebrated in this season for something, or to experience a sense of making it or getting it, of understanding, of it all coming to balance. The 4 pillars. So it's like some of you in this month will begin to see and determine what you want to build your life up on. What it has been built upon, what it is built upon now, and what you want to move forward. You know, what do you want to move forward with? What does your new reality look like? Can you please clarify the 8 of Wands in reverse? Strength. Strength. Okay. For some of you, if you chose group 2, there is you have been very stubborn almost to the messages that have been coming through, very clear for you. Very clear. I also get the feeling that you could have been over focused on a person or a thing and missing messages about an incoming person or thing that is meant to take you to another place. This is the Strength card came out to clarify the 8 of Wands in reverse. And so I feel like in this instance, there was a definite stubbornness to choose or to explore or to receive, just to receive the message that was given to you to receive, you know. You've been stubbornly just like, no, not him, not her, not that, not this. Because you're still seeing it in this way instead of this way. Please clarify the 2 of Pentacles. Yeah. 2 of Swords in reverse. Indecision. Stalemate. So many different things going on in your environment. This could be opinions of other people. Like I say, it could just be that you still just can't let go of it, the old thing. This is a huge thing with lots of people who are attuning with their more spiritual self, you know, because many of the systems prey on loyalty. You know, they want you to be loyal to them. And so with all of these people, organizations, groups, projects vying for your loyalty, it can make it difficult to choose which one, or to know which one you're supposed to resonate with and which one you're supposed to follow. Yeah, 2 coins. So it's like, instead of deciding, you just decide, okay, I'm just going to juggle these for a while. I'm just going to juggle because I'm not ready to walk away from anything. I'm not ready to decide. I know I might disappoint some people, because that, I do get the feeling that there's a whole thing of what people might think, or you're going to disappoint somebody. Pisces group 2, I also feel like if you know that you have a twin flame or a soulmate, you could be rejecting that idea. You know, you could be rejecting that idea. Okay, yeah. Based on past hurts, being left out in the cold. Yeah. It's beautiful. For others in this group, your idol could have been money, could have been work, could have been stability, you know? So uncertainty is not your thing, right? It's not your thing. And a need for stability, structure, for, you know, to have everything in order, to have this much saved, was your idol. And I don't think that you've ever acknowledged the fact that that is birthed out of a scarcity mindset, a belief of not ever having enough, or abandonment, right? For the relationship part. What will you be putting your efforts into coming into the new year, you know? What things are you willing to carry? What things are you no longer willing to carry with you? What have you been inspired to let just go? Because you've carried a whole lot down this path. And the path can become clearer, simpler, easier, more joyful and playful. But how you going to play anything with all this in tow? Can't play anything with all of that in tow. How you going to shoot your shot with all of that on your back? Yeah, with all those concerns of not having enough, of not being good enough, of all of that. Like, how are you going to move forward and free yourself up? You'll always be overdoing it. You'll always be overcompensating. Just decide. Oh, I heard for this group too, you could also be a people pleaser. Let that idol go. Let that idol go for sure. So group 3. Psalms 34 and 14. Pisces. A lot of you are learning the power of your words. Not just your words. Because words are just a manifestation of your thought, right? Audible manifestation of your thoughts. So you're understanding how what you think comes out of your mouth, and how what comes out of your mouth affects your situation, right? I'm learning this too. Value of silence. You obtain knowledge, you see something very clearly, and some of us feel very much charged to go ahead and share that thing right away. Don't speak too soon sometimes. 34 and 14. Oh, you know what? Also, there are some things that are being divulged to you about your direction that are for you and just you. Ooh. Okay. Guard your tongue from evil, your lips from deceitful speech. For some of you, your idol was gossip, other people's business. So we're moving on though to 3. All is one. The one all-pervading light, is the source of this unity. Differences, particularly differences between people, are an illusion. You are the person sitting across from you, and he or she is you. Be careful then of what you say to others be careful then of what you say about others. Slandering a person is a very, very serious offense because one can never retract malicious speech or control the effects of it. One is punished for 4 things in this world. They are idolatry, unchastity, bloodshed, and slander. But the punishment for slander equals the other 3 put together. An evil tongue is the tongue of darkness because it serves to cover light. It kills 3 persons: him who tells the slander, him who accepts it, and him about whom it is told. Remember, whatever you say about another person, you are saying about yourself. What's that saying? Your perceptions of me or your judgments of me are just like a reflection of yourself or something like that. What you think about me really says more about what you think of yourself. And that's deep. So the tongue, we talk about speaking things into existence. Well, come on, honey. When you come up against somebody else with your words, trust me, somebody about to come up against you in a really harsh way, right? I learned this in the most hurtful ways, okay? Okay? So just remember that this interconnectedness serves as a way to teach us compassion and love for other people. So knowing that what I say, what I do, what I put out here really says more about me than anybody else. And I do more harm than good because, well, is your goal really to do good if you're talking about people? Check your motive. That just came up. Check your motive about why you're saying certain things to people, about people. What clarifiers do we have for Pisces that picked Psalms 34 and 14 for their message? And some of you are really going through this judgment, this reckoning of your soul, the things you said. As a matter of fact, it's becoming divulged that the things that you said were not true and actually just judgments of your dang self. I learned that one too last year. It was long, hard lesson. It was a long, hard lesson. But, some of us who are quick to speak judgment on a situation, on a person, on even just making quick judgments about projects and things like that, that's not going to take you up to the ladder. That's not going to gain you any notoriety or anything like that. You may get a chuckle or laugh out of somebody, and you may deter somebody from being friends with that person you was talking about. But guess what? You're still going to definitely be seen as that gossiper and ain't going to be your friend either. So the same energy you was putting in to break somebody down, you'll be seen in that same way. Okay? This gives me full narcissist vibes right here, like full narcissist vibes. So, if you have been a person who either has been a victim of narcissistic abuse or have been the one who was doing this to other people, there's a reckoning happening right now, okay? And all the things that were being said, all the things that were being done are put all the way on the table. They're being displayed. Yeah. Wow. And while you were seeking to be seen in a better light, you actually caused a personal downfall. And you're going to get to climb again. I mean, we don't ever have to stay, but take the lesson. I just realized that a lot of these readings that I've done today have been kind of like, what you doing? Why you doing that? Really kind of like harsh. But I accepted a title that someone gave me, which was the Goddess of Truth. Sometimes this stuff be hard and dark, but okay. Ace of Coins. Let's move on. Judgment, Ace of Coins. Be careful not to see any of these things that are taking place right now as your demise. You know, reputations can be rebuilt. You know, if you've tarnished someone else's reputation, no need to hold on to any guilt or anything. Learn the lesson and move on, okay? Because you tarnished theirs, then yours became tarnished. Everybody gets to recover. We can all recover. We're all offered opportunities to come out of the puddle that we've thrown ourselves into, okay? Puddle. I said puddle because of the cards, but that didn't really make sense. Okay, so just know, the universe, the divine, is probably offering this group, something is happening right now, and you are definitely maybe not seeing it as this, but you're being offered the opportunity to make right some things some judgments that you've made, or some things that have been said. You're being offered the opportunity to make it right, to dispel whatever rumors you've initiated, and even to clear up some things about yourself. So many cards, so I'm gonna put them back. Ace of Swords, Four of Swords, Queen of Staffs. Okay, I just need one card, please. So there is like you are, and maybe you are yourself looking back on things that people have said to you and about you, and in yourself you are being offered a mirror to see that those things are false and not grounded in any truth, that they created illusions in your mind and your spirit, and you subscribe to them for a while. Knight of Coins. Yeah, it's taking you a while to get to this place though, you know. And I feel like some of you have been stubborn and not taking the opportunity to freaking apologize, Pisces. Because the Knight of Coins, you know, Knight of Pentacles is the slowest moving one, right? He can be stubborn. But let me show you. If you offer, it doesn't matter how long you've let this go on. That's what the message is right here. It doesn't matter how long you've let this live like this. You can tell the truth. This person is actually waiting for it. The world is waiting for this truth. And look at this serpent down here. The moment you go ahead and make right this thing, the evil goes. Darkness got to leave the situation. You know what I'm saying? It's your growth as well. Because, I mean, you know, the serpent is Kundalini energy. So you tried to step on someone else's journey. You tried to throw salt on somebody else's thing. Maybe you brought up the past of that person. But the truth, by speaking it, you kill it. You're no longer a snake. You know, you've brought redemption now. You're no longer the snake in the grass. You're the bringer of redemption now. Think about that. And please clarify the Judgment card here for group 3, Pisces, for December. Yeah. Please clarify the Judgment card. Yep. Very specifically, you or the person that you may have been slandering was hoping to teach, or maybe people had started seeking you or seeking them for advice and mentorship and guidance, and in order to make your platform seem more, either way, the words that were spoken were meant to discredit. Learn the lesson. Learn the lesson. because it's going to be very valuable for this group. You have the ability, you have in your future opportunities to step into very, very expansive relationships and connections. And so this gossip and insecurity energy is going to have to be gone. I see some of you really on a large platform, and you can't be in competition with other light. You can't be a light worker and be in competition with other light. We don't, light flames don't fight other flames. We illuminate what we illuminate, and they illuminate what they illuminate. So can't nobody teach what you got to teach, and can't nobody teach what they got to teach. So no need to be in competition. You can be their student, and they can be your student. And maybe this is the only lesson y'all ever gonna learn together, speaking negatively on other people. So, Ace of Coins to the King of Coins. Okay, this opportunity, when you clear this judgment energy, when you clear this up, remember, the person, this universe, they're waiting for that. They're waiting for it. And so when you do, this situation or your platform specifically will grow substantially, okay? Redemption, remember, like I say, redemption. It brings you what you were meant to have anyway until you started trying to tear somebody else's stuff down. That's it. You started putting your effort towards tearing theirs, and then you slowed the progress of your own. So now once you make this right, redeem yourself and this other person or whatever, then you will see your world start to take shape again. You know, you'll see growth begin to happen again, stability, fertility happening. Not even just the fertility, like the ground is fertile for seeds, but you'll see that it's sprouting. Everything is sprouting and everything is coming to full bloom. But, you know, the energy of jealousy, insecurity, negativity towards other people, judgment, that tearing down energy, remember, it's a reflection of you. So as long as you don't feel good about you, you ain't going to be able to go nowhere. Okay. Can we please clarify the Knight of Pentacles? You can't go nowhere talking about people. Because if you're a celebrity, I don't know, celebrity stylist, no celebrity want to hear you talking about how bad this stylist is. Or if you are a spiritual guru and you get caught talking bad about some other guru, don't nobody want to follow you. Nobody wants to follow you. I don't want to follow nobody that I always hear talking about other people. In any way other than to fix the situation. You know, people have conversations about other people all the time, but you know what I'm saying. Knight of Coins, clarified by the King of Cups. The maturity that you show by putting your little ill feelings aside and speaking the truth is what brings this all full circle for you. It unblocks your endeavors and your aspirations, and it frees them from that cloak of nastiness that you threw on them. All right, group 3. Now, what does Pisces have to look forward to in the month of November? Let's get 3 cards, please. Pisces. I said November. We're talking December. Pisces, December. What are they looking forward to? What's going on? 10 of Cups in reverse. Okay. The Tower. So, just know that if you don't have the integrity to do this, it's going to come out anyway. And when it's revealed that you were lying or making it up or jealous or insecure or whatever, your world is going to remain in conflict for quite some time, I feel. You're going to remain in conflict, you know, because that innocent party that you did that to, It's almost like you build them up. You, in a backwards kind of way, you build them up because you couldn't come forward and make right what you said. And when it comes out, they're seen as the innocent party that didn't do nothing. People just was against them for no reason. And then you're seen as a troublemaker, as a hater, for lack of better words. And this causes conflict for you in the future. I keep using this thing about being up in the spotlight with celebrities and everything because that sounds like a big thing for y'all. You know, it's going to block you. And you likely are still going, let me see what's at the bottom of the deck. Five of Cups in reverse, okay? So after some time, you know, this will all blow over and you will still have the opportunity to move forward towards your path. But you're going to have a lot of stuff to clean up. Lots of stuff to clean up first. You're going to have to prove yourself again as somebody who can be trusted with people's business. Because I really feel like it was somebody's business. So in the month of December, it's going to come out. You have the choice to bring it out or let it come out. Hey, Jessica. I wasn't necessarily, but if you have one, I can go ahead and answer it for you. We'll close Pisces reading like that. Go ahead and drop the question there, and if I can get it in time, we'll go ahead and answer it. By the way, thank you guys for watching. Okay. Okay. Nice. All right. May I have, let me shuffle this deck real quick. Actually, no. I'm being told not to shuffle the deck. So, Victor and Jessica. How does Victor feel about Jessica? Five of Cups in reverse. Definitely ready to move past any doubt that may have been there. If there was anything that happened in the past, it seems like in his spirit, he wants to move past that. He wants to move forward past whatever has happened. It seems like he is feeling a little more balanced these days and having a better understanding of what took place. I'm going to take two more cards out. Please clarify the Five of Cups for Jessica and Victor. Four of Cups, yes. Coming out of, there was a place where there was a denial of feelings, I think. Or the denial of how deep they truly were. But definitely wanting to come out of that, you know. Seems like a sense of rejection based on someone not wanting to divulge their true feelings. And they are, yeah. This person just didn't want to take that leap. At some place, they didn't really want to. Yeah. So right now, all the cards came up in reverse. The Fool in reverse, Five of Cups in reverse, the Four of Cups in reverse. So there was definitely a fear of divulging those feelings without knowing if they were real or not. I'm getting that if the person had multiple options or had come out of something that was difficult, they could have really been trying to balance themselves so that they don't have another false start. Let's have one more card. Yeah. Five of Swords. So again, in their mind, they're carrying some things and processing through them because it seems like they're actually getting victory over them. I get the feeling that give it some time, give it just a little more time. It seems like in their mind, they're coming out of that conflict. No, he doesn't think it's a game anymore. He doesn't think it's a game anymore. It was never a game, by the way. It was never a game. I'm just going to say that. It was never a game. He just didn't know if it was worth the effort. You know, he didn't know if he was ready to put that much effort into it or not. because of something. He didn't know how he felt really. You know, a lot of times players, I don't know if this resonates, but a lot of times players will come to a place where someone who carries the player energy will feel as if they need to make sure that they're done with what they've always done. Then and certain deep feelings will scare them. Oh, hello, thank you guys for watching. I'm recording monthlies. Yeah, so if that energy is there, it just may have needed to clear that out. Yeah, it run away. But guess what? Relationships, this love thing is not really linear. It doesn't really happen. It doesn't really happen in sequence, in a straight line, is what I'm trying to say. So sometimes people will see something as a gift, as, oh my gosh, this is here. Am I ready to receive it or no? Then they'll run because they won't feel as if they are ready, and they'll perhaps save you some heartache, honestly. So I would say see it as a great thing. You know, he's trying to he has, in my opinion, overcome certain conflict, and would definitely like to move forward with you. But take your time, because it seems as if you've kind of waited. So take your time and allow yourself to become confident in it as well, you know. Don't rush just because the offer is being made, you know. But you deserve to feel confident in it. I hope that helped. Yeah, I mean, I know how that goes. So, Piscean Fairy, I would love to do a live, but I want to close up this Pisces reading. So, I'm going to come on. I can come on live later, but just out of respect for the rest of the signs, I want to go ahead and get their readings out. Piscean Fairy, I know you will find your answer in this pick a card, so just go ahead and watch.